My name is Amanda and today I have my June wrap up and my July TBR. I read quite a lot of books in June and I read some really great ones, and July is just a month of booktubeathon and it's gonna be so great. I have a lot of books to talk about, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. Before, I just wanted to say that I went to the Fault in Our Stars movie like 2 days ago and oh my god, it was so good. I cried so much and I just wanted to throw that out there that I completely adored it. So let's just get into the books I read, shall we? So the first book I read this month was The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and this was my first Neil Gaiman book and I thought it was really good. I did a full review of this book so I won't talk too much about it, but it basically is following a man who goes back to his home and he just starts remembering things from his childhood, and it is just a great paranormal read, kind of, and I really enjoyed it and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I can't wait to read more of Neil Gaiman's books now. And of course I will leave the link to the full review I did in the description box. Go watch it. The next book I picked up was Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins, and I got this book as a gift from Helene Jeppesen, and thank you so much, Helene. This book was amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was hilarious and I just love Rachel Hawkins' writing because it's just really funny and sarcastic, and it's kind of my humor. And basically it follows this Southern Belle and she is homecoming queen and just popular and all that jazz. But then at prom night she kind of stumbles into the toilet and the janitor shows up and he kind of gives her sort of powers, and she is set to become a paladin and kind of protect a person she doesn't like very much. I liked it and I really enjoyed it and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So the next book I read was actually a play and I read it for school, and it was Shakespeare by Macbeth. No, it was Macbeth by Shakespeare, and I really enjoyed this play. I mean, it's old English and it's really hard to understand. I had some great trouble reading this book, but mainly because of the language I really did enjoy it, and I gave it 3.5 or 4 stars, I can't really remember, but I really enjoy plays or books with different writing, so I really did enjoy this book. Then I went to Croatia, and I said I was planning to finish A Clash of Kings before Croatia, but I just couldn't manage to do it, and I read the last 100 pages while I was there. So yeah, I finished A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin when I was in Croatia, and I am so in love with this series and the series on television, and this was so good and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It is the sequel to A Game of Thrones and so much stuff just happens in this book. I mean, it's over 1,000 pages, so it would be kind of boring if nothing happened, but I love this book and yeah, I love it. The next book I read while I was in Croatia was The Eternity Cure by Julie Kagawa, and I loved this book. I totally loved The Immortal Rules, which is the first book in this series, and I just couldn't wait to pick up this book, and it was not a disappointment at all. It was so good, and I can't really tell you what it's about except that it is post-apocalyptic, so it's dystopian and it is vampires, and if you have not picked up this series you need to do it because it's so good. And I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. After that I kind of wanted to venture into the land of contemporary because I haven't read that much in the genre, and yeah, I just wanted to widen my horizons, if that's how you say it, and just read some more contemporaries. So I picked up Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson, and I really liked this book. It was really good and it was quite sad and I cried at the end. I was at the beach while reading this book and it didn't quite turn out very well because I tried to hold back my tears, but they just kept falling. And yeah, if I had not been on the beach, I would have gone into like total sobbing ugly mode, but it was just fine tears this time. This book follows a girl named Taylor, and all her life she has been running away from things that are hard, so she just leaves and don't think about it again. And this spring, it's spring I think, her father gets cancer, so yeah, she can't really run away from that one, so they decide to go to her summer house one last summer. The last time she was there, she kind of ran away from some pretty hard stuff that she has to own up to now when she is returning. I really like this book, like I said, but there were some things that were kind of glossed over, I think, and some relationships that I just... But anyway, I still really enjoyed it and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So the last book I read in June was my favorite book of the month, and that was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. And oh my god, you guys, I said that this was probably not my cup of tea, and I said that I probably wouldn't enjoy it, and oh boy, I couldn't have been more wrong. I adored this book. It was so good and I love the characters, and I don't think I've ever like related so much and connected so much with a character as I did with the main character Kath in this book. I mean, I'm not so much for fan fiction, but just she's amazingly written and relatable, and hold on. And yeah, I really loved her character. The love in this book was really neatly done, and I think the writing was really good, and I really did enjoy the Simon Snow references. They're kind of like our Harry Potter, and yeah, there was only one thing that I didn't really like in this book, and that was the mentioning of Harry Potter, which kind of ruined the whole thing with Simon Snow, because it's just so unlikely that another like wizard boarding school story would have been published alongside with Harry Potter, but that was just, it was just a small pet peeve, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars because I completely adored it. And everyone, even though you don't think you'll like it, give it a try. So moving into my July TBR, and I will be doing a separate TBR for the booktubeathon, so I have 4 books to show you that I will be reading before and maybe after the readathon. I have already read one book because today is the 2nd of July and I finished this book yesterday. That book was Paper Towns by John Green. This is my 3rd John Green book. It is my least favorite of the 3, but I still did really enjoy it, and yeah, I'll talk about it more in my next video wrap-up. I am currently reading It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vicini, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I haven't gotten that far into it yet, but it is about a boy who gets into a mental hospital, and it is supposed to be really funny, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, so I can't wait to read more. The next book I have to show you I'm so excited about. The story is basically that I actually got a book sent to me for review, and that is just so exciting. I have had a few requests before, but they have all been ebooks, and I don't own an e-reader or an iPad, so, and I hate reading on my phone and on my computer, so I have had to turn those down. But they actually offered to ship this book all the way to Sweden, so I'm just really excited, and that book is Earthman Jack versus the Ghost Planet by Matthew Kadish. It seems more like a middle grade book, but it's about a teenager, so I'm not, can't talk anymore. So I'm not quite sure, but it is basically that this boy named Jack Finnegan has to save the Earth from aliens, and it's all about space and spaceships and action and adventure, and yeah, I'm just really pumped to read this book. I am so running out of time on my camera, but anyway, the last book that I will be showing you that I'm not sure I will get through this month. Anyway, it is A Storm of Swords, and the 3rd book in the Game of Thrones series by George R.R. Martin, and this is the biggest one so far, and it is over 1,100 pages. I have read like 40 pages, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it, but I just put it off because it is such a big book, but I'm gonna read some of it this month anyway. So that was actually all the books I read and I will be reading. Like I said, I will be doing a separate TBR for Booktubeathon in July, and I'm so excited, and it's just so much fun. I feel like I can't talk anymore, so I'll just wrap this up. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up because that would help me out a lot. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will see all of you guys in my next video, so stay tuned. Bye!